Is stress normal for people of faith? Well, you probably know the answer, but I'm going to give you my answer coming up next. Hey, today we're going to talk about stress. Are you stressed out? We're all stressed out. In fact, one recent study says that 94% of people who work are stressed out at home from work-related stress. So 9.5 out of 10, probably most of us are stressed out. And if you're not, maybe you're in high school or something and you don't have a care in the world yet, okay? But we're all experiencing stress. So should we be stressed? Should believers be stressed out? Is this a lack of faith? Let me explain the difference between something called acute stress and chronic stress. First thing we need to say is that stress is actually a good thing. Stress is a hormone response in your body when there is danger present. This would be called acute stress. So let's say you walk in the woods and you look down and you see bear scat on the ground. You know that bears have been there. There are tracks and there is poop from bears and it's fresh. What should you do? You get stressed out, you raise your stress hormone cortisol, and you realize you need to get out of there. Let's say you're walking through the plains in Africa and you see a lion. Should you be stressed out or calm? Well, your body's going to stress to give you the resources to run out of there as fast as you can. Okay, that's what's going to happen. Now, whether or not you make it, that'll be up to you. But your body should still give you the hormones to be able to get out of a stressful situation. So we need acute stress. We need acute stress around because acute stress helps us when there is actual problems. The problem is in America, we don't have lions and bears chasing us, do we? Most often, we have things like emails, we have text messages, we have Facebook notifications, we have ranting Aunt Sally, who's maybe a little bit more racist than you thought on Facebook, and she's going nuts, and you're stressed out from that too. We have all these little stressors, work, school, family, all causing us problems. The issue is we get stressed out from all of these things, and it raises a hormone called cortisol in our bodies. Cortisol goes up, it means we accumulate belly fat on our stomachs, and it's preserving our resources for when we need to run away from an imminent danger. The issue is these aren't imminent dangers, they're very small dangers. That's the difference between something like acute stress and what I'll call chronic stress. Chronic stress is us always running from the bear in the woods. It's not a sin or a fearful or bad when you have acute stress because we need to get out of there. But it's bad to always have stress, to be in chronic stress. That means we think a bear is chasing us. So every time you get one email ding, stress. Every time our spouse yells at us, ding, stress. Every time our boss says something to us, stress. Kids, stress. Hobby breaks down, stress. Car doesn't work, stress. All of these things, stress, and it leaves us in a perpetual state of stress constantly. The crazy part about stress is oftentimes we get really wired and we get tired from it. And not only that, we're supplementing our stress with caffeine. So we'll add things like coffee and tea into the mix, and it even increases our cortisol levels even higher. And now we're even more chronic state of stress. Now your body's going to be able to handle chronic stress for a while, depending on your age, but eventually it's going to break down and it's going to cause some hormone dysfunction. And it could lead to something like your HPA axis malfunctioning. Now your HPA axis is your hypothalamus, your pituitary glands, and your adrenals all kind of frying. The cycle that produces your hormones kind of wrecks and it just slows everything down. And one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to overproduce hormones at the wrong times, meaning your cortisol could spike in the evenings and you can't sleep, or your cortisol won't spike in the morning so you can't wake up, or you're going to underproduce hormones or not produce them at all, leading to something called burnout. Now, if you've ever suffered from burnout, you know it sucks. I've suffered from burnout. I could not get off the couch for 3.5 months once. I was literally a zombie until I was able to recover. You do not want burnout. You do not want too much chronic stress in your life because you know how much it sucks and how bad it's harming you. So, what do you do about it? First thing, for the believer, for the Christian, you need to realize that you are not omnipotent and omnipresent. You are not Jesus. You are not God. You cannot intake the amount of information you're taking in through social media and through the news. You are not capable of handling that on your hardware system. The software of Twitter constantly in your brain, and Instagram constantly in your brain, and CNN and Fox News and all this constantly in your brain, and all the podcasts are causing your hardware to malfunction. You need to limit the amount of information you're taking and then begin to trust God with your future instead of thinking that you are the one that's in control and in charge. Imagine trying to wear God's shoes for a moment. Well, that's what chronic stress and chronic anxiety is. It's you trying to take the wheel from Jesus when you're supposed to be doing the opposite. So in order for you to beat chronic stress, you're going to have to stop overstimulating yourself for something you were never meant to be able to do. Then you're going to need to begin to institute rhythms of solitude and exercise. Solitude means escaping all of the different people and the different media outlets in your mind. Set aside a half day or a day to get away, to just not be engaged in all of the noise and listen to some nature, listen to music, and just relax. And then you build healthy rhythms of exercise, whether that's 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 days a week, where you're regularly getting some exercise, hiking, biking, lifting weights, doing CrossFit, whatever it is, making sure that you're staying healthy to reduce those stress levels. And then finally, you need to let go of control. You need to let go of control. Let go and let God, as they say, right? You want to lay your worries and your stress at God's feet, build in regular rhythms of rest and relaxation, and trust God with your future instead of trying to take the reins of it yourself, because you just don't know whether you'll live or die tomorrow. And so why would you try to kill yourself now with chronic stress when you don't even know the answers anyway? Hey, I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, like the video, subscribe to my channel. I want to get more biblically based wellness principles out to everybody and get my quick start guide to health. I'm going to expound on this subject of stress and also diet and exercising in there. It's 13 pages and it's free. I'll send it to you with the link in the description.